Okay, so you're thinking of making the move to Orlando, and you're like, what is it like raising a family in Orlando? Well, this is my story, not coming from Orlando, but moving here with our two boys and just what we've experienced while raising them, and just our whole story of what we've experienced, with a family, raising them here, and the good and the bad. So let's go. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, a realtor here in Orlando, Florida. And on this channel, I do everything I can to showcase what it's like moving to Orlando, the pros, the cons, the lifestyle, just everything about it. And we always are getting people reaching out days, nights, weekends, all the time who are making the move to Orlando just like we did. And we absolutely love it. So give us a call, text, email. We got your back when moving to Orlando, Florida. All right, so if you're watching this, most likely you have kids and you're like looking to make the move to Orlando, and you're like, what's it like raising a family here in Orlando? Well, there's two main things I wanted to touch on first. The first thing is, and it's also because of the mistake we made, but it's what's it like raising a kid here in the schools, right? Like, so I grew up in New York State, in Western New York, in the country. We spent a lot of time on the East Coast and around the world while I was in the military. My wife grew up in Southern California, and obviously when we are moving here, so when you initially look at the area, you're like, oh, the schools are terrible here. I don't know why it just seems to be fed that way when you're doing your research, but after being here for some time, we found that there's actually a lot of great schools. Actually, in this video above, I'm going to link it. It's the top suburbs listed to raise a family here in Orlando, and like all of those have like amazing, some of the best publicly rated schools for the county. And so we definitely made the mistake. So before coming out here, our oldest wasn't in school yet. He was still 4, and I think being younger parents, we just made the mistake of maybe not choosing our initial area that had like the top rated school or like some of the best schools. And on retrospect, I think that's something that we probably would have changed when making the move out here, but we just didn't know at the time, which is also part of the reason why I do everything that I do for this channel, is because it's just showcasing a lot of the mistakes that we've made. Everything I talk about is like things that I've just done wrong, we've done wrong, and it's just really trying to help people by letting them know just what to think about, what to expect when either thinking or making that move to the Orlando area. So I would look at schools. Like, so if your kids are already in school age, I'm sure that's already on top of mind. But if you're like us, and we were younger parents moving out here, or maybe you're looking to start a family when you move out here, it's making sure that you choose a good school that you think fits your needs as a parent, what you think you'd want your kid going into. And it's something to note of. So you don't want to be going to like the hood or just bad areas and just throwing your kid into a school that maybe isn't the best rating. I will say, like, just because I've gone to like some country schools, like when you get into like farther out from the Orlando city, like a lot of times schools can have lower ratings, but smaller student populations can also kind of affect that. It's just my opinion. It's just growing up in that country life, and I said the same thing to my wife. But it's take it for what it is. But make sure you make that decision moving out here. Also, something that thankfully, I obviously being an agent, I'm pretty flexible with work, because I just kind of work from home and travel throughout the county and that's Central Florida really as needed. But a lot of clients that reach out to us, a big thing that we always bring up is like, okay, so in some areas when you live, like it's a really big thing, like especially in like Southern California, right? Like you're like, okay, I work here in the city, but I probably live an hour away to make sure we have a big house for our family, and it just is what I do. But when you come out here to Orlando, I still don't think you really need to live that far away. I mean, when you look like the center of Orlando, an hour and a half is going to get you to Tampa. So it's like, do you really need to be living an hour away? No. So make sure you realize that coming into it. Because also, like, plus, if you have a family and you have kids and you love your family, like, it's just really hard for me to at least wrap my head around it. Is I couldn't imagine spending, I mean, I've done it before, but spending like 2.5 hours a day in traffic, like driving home from work. And it's like, it's bad enough you're already there most of the day. Like, it's trying to maximize that home life and that balance. It's never perfect, but trying to get that good in between, since being that. Now, with those two things out of the way, I think one of the big things I want to get into is just what it's been like having our boys here overall. So we'll go with our previous experience, what we've had with our boys. Not any trips outside the state. We're just going to talk about living in like Southern California where we lived. They had Disneyland. My wife's obsessed with it, and there's like hiking and stuff like that. But there was a limit, personally, and like there's like small cool restaurants and stuff like that, but that's about it. Like, there's no like weird fun places. And like one of the first things that came to mind, one of the first things that we really did out here that wasn't a theme park, it's called Wonderworks. And if you don't know what it is, you really should take your kids there. It's a super fun experience, but it's just a crazy place. It's a mix of like science and just cool things that we, us as adults probably took for granted, but as kids, they're just like an awesome place. It's not really so much a museum, I would think, but it's more like a fun place that kids can do, like, experiments and just like fun things for them to do. We had a blast, and even finished off the day with like a pizza party with like a musician, and it was just a really fun experience. And it really wasn't relatively too expensive, and it's amazing. Or like we've gone to, headed east from Orlando, and we've gone to like this nature preserve area. I forgot the name off the top of my head, but that's okay. But it was a fun place. And it had, like, you can see the alligators being fed. They have some native animals that were to Florida. Some, bad things. Bringing awareness to how some people can really have exotic pets here in Florida, and how it's, not so much a great thing to do that, because preserves like that pick them up to take care of them, because owners will just get rid of them. It's a terrible thing, but it's also an awesome place that now these animals have a great home, and you get to learn about them, become more, well known. They've also, that same place had, and I forgot it off the top of my head, and it bothers me. So reach out if you want that information. I will promise I'll have it ready from my wife, who is the manager of definitely remembering all those things. But it was an awesome place, and we also got to learn a lot about Native American history here in Florida, which was insane, really awesome, and a great history to learn. And it's awesome that you live so close to all these places. And I think that was one of the greatest things we noticed that really we didn't expect when coming to Orlando, is we have our boys, we want them to experience so much in the world, and we have so much at our fingertips, not even really that much money. And so now I've met some parents who, they're like, well, I don't want to spend too much, like the budget and everything. Like, this is a great place. This is a really great place to just overall have amazing things to do, where it's not just a theme park. Now, that being said, obviously I think every theme park you could ever want is pretty much here. Disney World, Legoland, soon to be Peppa Pig Land, like all these things here for your kids to experience. But at the same time, also, if you're like me, you love like hiking, camping, hunting, fishing, you can easily get that in an hour drive, north or south, or maybe not even that far, really, especially for fishing. There's lakes everywhere. You can go to the Atlantic and take a charter. It's an amazing mend. Like me and my wife, that yin and yang, coming from different areas of the world, and being able to give that both to our kids, and really just overall created a family dynamic that's just amazing and just really well oiled, and being able to like create a better experience for them, getting to learn more things, getting to do things like, and obviously the two big things is schools and your work and your balance are important, but like the things to do here have just been amazing, allowed us to really experience fully with our kids, and something that I really don't think I could experience elsewhere, and also like you can go to the beach. You just add that on top of everything you're already having. You can go to the beach. Also, sometimes, date night's important too as parents. And there's so much to do. I love Topgolf in Tampa. Obviously, we don't want to live in Tampa for a multitude of reasons, but being able to travel, have it so close, it's just to change it up. You could also, go watch the Buccaneers play. Orlando has their basketball team. Like, you can go watch the Lightning for hockey if you're a hockey fan like I am in Tampa. Like, there's just so many things that you can do. Like, it's insane. Like, I could create a whole list of all these places, and let alone, like, just pull up Google Maps and just look at your surrounding area if you visit, or you're already living here, or you're looking to make the move, or reach out to us. It doesn't matter. But you'll be amazed at all, like, the weird things, that they're not weird in a bad way. It's just awesome. It's amazing that we just have so many options. Like, even the years we've been here, and like looking into the future, like I don't think we'll ever be able to tap into everything, especially in one calendar year, let alone maybe 5. There's just so many options, and you even want to take like a major trip down to like the Keys, or I don't know, anything. And then the plane tickets aren't even that expensive for us to still go back and experience family and have our kids know that they still have family in other places, and it's okay that we live in a different area. So if you already can tell, like, this has just been an amazing experience for our kids, and it's one decision I have not regretted. And while we did have to change things up, we definitely lost pretty much any support we had, family-wise. I think overall it made us closer as a family, and really as parents just be better moving forward with our kids. So if you have a family and you're looking to move out here, and you're just really nervous about like any of the things I covered, or maybe something even I did it, let me know in the comments below, or give us a call, text, email, whatever you need to do. We love having the conversations. Most of the time it's me answering the phone, and I absolutely love it. I really do, because like with a lot of the concerns and mistakes that I made coming out here, my big thing is why I do all this channel is to make sure that you know what I ran through, what I went through, and maybe we can spearhead and get ahead of some of the concerns that you have making the move. Or maybe if you're like, is it even worth it? Well, I'm hoping I could help you with that if you reach out. So I hope this video was helpful. Like, subscribe if you want to be notified every time I drop a new video. And without that, I will see you in the next video.